Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So Manchester United need to recommend a director of footballing. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer gets more backing. And I said it's one of the structural changes that we need at the football club. Now we have been in the process of trying to get a director of footballing since like the Jose Mourinho era. And there's been a few candidates linked with that director's role. Now, Luis Campos, he was linked with it last month. He's currently the Lille director. Fabio Paratici, he's the Juventus director. He's been linked with a director's role at Man United before. Ralf Rangnick, he's also been linked with it. Paul Mitchell, he's also been linked with it. And there's been quite a few former Manchester United players linked with that director's role. Don't forget, at one point there was talks of Patrice Evra coming in. There was also talks of Rio Ferdinand coming in. There was talks of Darren Fletcher coming in. And there was also talks of Edwin van der Sar coming in. Now, I said, if we are to recommend one in, we need someone who knows the culture of the club. And we need someone who's got that experience. So just wanted to give you some news on that. So now I want to delve into some transfer news. So according to Calcio Mercato, Manchester United are interested in Axel Zagadou. He currently plays for Borussia Dortmund. He can play as a centre-half and a left-back. He's been at Borussia Dortmund for around 3 years now. He's made 60 appearances for Borussia Dortmund in all competitions. And he has got a contract with Dortmund until 2022. He has been out with a knee injury. So reflects on this, he hasn't played so far this season. Borussia Dortmund got him on a free transfer from PSG back in 2017, and at the time they signed him, he signed a 5-year contract. Axel Zagadou is just the age of 21. Manchester United are in search for a centre-half. There's been quite a few centre-halves on our agenda. You know, we spent £130 million on defenders in the summer of 2019. So that is the breaking news on that. Now I want to delve into some news on Raul Jimenez from Wolves. So Raul Jimenez has refused to rule out a move to Man United in the future. Now, he told the Mexican outlet TUDN that Manchester United and Juventus were interested in him in the summer transfer window, but he insists he remains happy at Wolves. Now, if we was to get Raul Jimenez, he would cost us quite a bit of money, probably cost us maybe 80 or 90 million pounds. He recently signed a 4-year deal with Wolves. Now, Raul Jimenez has scored 48 goals in 108 games for Wolves in all competitions. Wolves paid around £30 million for him back in April 2019. Wolves got him permanently, because obviously at one point he was on loan with Wolves. But I would say Raul Jimenez at Manchester United because, you know, he's well proven in the Premier League. He's a prolific goal scorer and his hold-up play is very, very good. Now, some people believe that Man United should have got Raul Jimenez. Before Raul Jimenez was at Wolves, he was at Benfica. Before that, he was at Atletico Madrid. And before that, he was in America. You know, he was in their youth system, and he is the age now of 29. Wolves have already lost Diego Jota. You know, lost him to Liverpool, and they've also lost Matt Doherty. Yesterday, I give you the news on David Carmo from Braga. You know, ESPN said that Manchester United are interested in him. I also give you the news on Dayat Upamecano from RB Leipzig. But yeah, it's good that we are making plans for next year. I think in reality, Manchester United need around 4 or 5 signings, you know, to win the Premier League title. But we're not only going to focus on the incomings next year, we're also going to focus on the outgoings. Because obviously there is still deadwood at Manchester United. Now, I think next year we'll be looking to offload Jesse Lingard. I think we'll be also looking to offload Phil Jones. You know, Phil Jones has been very, very inconsistent since he became a Manchester United player. Jones has been at Man United now for around 9 years or so. Got him under the Alex Ferguson era. I think we'll be also looking to offload Marcus Rojo. Marcus Rojo has never really established himself as the first team regular since his arrival. You know, don't forget Rojo was out on loan with Estudiantes last season. I think we'll be also looking to offload Paul Pogba. I think we could also offload Nemanja Matic because, you know, Nemanja Matic doesn't really get in the team now. I think next year we could also offload Juan Mata. Sergio Romero, I think he will leave if Dean Henderson is to stay. But if Dean Henderson is to go out on loan, then Sergio Romero probably will stay as a backup. I also think that we could loan Brandon Williams out next year because obviously now he's our third choice left back following the arrival of Tellez. And I think we could offload Daniel James next year. You know what I mean? I think there's quite a lot of players though we will keep at Manchester United. You know, we'll definitely obviously keep Marcus Rashford. I think Marcus Rashford's done very, very well this season for Manchester United. Rashford got an assist in the game against Everton. He was unlucky not to get his name on the score sheet. He also got a hat-trick in our 5-0 win against RB Leipzig. You know, Marcus Rashford became the second Man United player to score a hat-trick as a substitute. Scored a late winner in Paris, and he scored a few goals in the league this season. Now, Rashford recently turned 23, and he has been part of the club for several years. I think Marcus Rashford looks more effective out wide than he does playing centrally. He did say he had a problem with his shoulder, but Rashford should be available for the game against West Brom next Saturday. Now, I think we'll keep Anthony Martial. He hasn't had a good start, though, to this season, so he needs to rejuvenate himself. Martial, don't forget, did have a 3-match suspension in the league because he got sent off in our 6-1 defeat to Tottenham. He's now served his 3-game suspension. You know, there's a lot of Manchester United fans saying that, you know, Anthony Martial needs to be dropped and, you know, said we should be starting Edinson Cavani ahead of him instead. Edinson Cavani's made an impact. Obviously has not yet made his full Premier League debut for the club. He scored in our 3-1 win against Everton when he came on. That was his first goal for the club. He almost scored with his first touch when he came on against Chelsea, Edinson Cavani. We got Edinson Cavani on a free transfer. You know, Edinson Cavani signed a 2-year contract with the club worth around 220 grand a week, and obviously he wears that number 7. So yeah, revert back to what I said on Anthony Martial. Hasn't had a good start this season, but he was very, very good last season under Ole, and he was good in his debut season under Louis van Gaal era. Martial's enjoyed a good 5 years or so at the football club. Now, we'll definitely keep Mason Greenwood. I think Mason Greenwood is the foreseeable future for Manchester United. We have had a few issues with Mason Greenwood though this season. It got confirmed why Mason Greenwood was left out of England's under-21 squad, and that was due to injuries and personal issues. You know, he was withdrawn from the England squad earlier on in the season with Phil Foden, wasn't he? Mason Greenwood has got a contract with the club till 2023. You know, this season's his second season in our senior squad. The start of the season, we give him that number 11 shirt, so Mason Greenwood is the fourth Manchester United player to wear the number 11. Don't forget Bruno Fernandes was recently frustrated with Mason Greenwood, reflecting on his poor training session. But Ollie has been defending Greenwood in recent weeks. Didn't play any part in the Everton game. Solskjaer said it was illness, but actually no, it wasn't illness. When we play Mason Greenwood, we usually put him on that right-hand side, but you can also play him centrally. We'll definitely keep Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is Manchester United's best player, I would say. You know, Bruno Fernandes scored twice in the 3-1 win against Everton, and he also got an assist. He was very, very poor in the Istanbul Başakşehir game, was Bruno Fernandes, because he was dispossessed 34 times. That game against Istanbul Başakşehir was his worst game in a Manchester United shirt. But there's only been a couple of games where Bruno Fernandes has looked off the pace. But in the vast majority of his games, he has been very, very consistent. You know, Fernandes has endured around 9 months at the football club. You know, the vast majority of his goals have come from the penalty spot. Last season, he won Premier League Player of the Month twice. He also won some Matt Busby Player of the Year award. You know, we paid £47 million for Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon back in January. Now, we'll obviously keep Donny van der Beek at the football club. Now, Donny van der Beek recently scored a fantastic goal for Holland in their 1-1 draw with Spain. Like he updated you recently, Donny van der Beek has revealed that Solskjaer told him to be patient and wait for his opportunities. Donny van der Beek says, though, he would have loved to have played more at Manchester United this season. Donny van der Beek has not yet made his full Premier League debut for the club. He has started our last 2 games, though, in the Champions League. Now, we paid £40 million for Donny van der Beek from Ajax. Donny van der Beek signed a 5-year contract with the football club with an option of a further year, and he currently wears that number 34 shirt. I think Solskjaer's been in the process of trying to figure out his best position, because he can play in like 3 different roles, but he's predominantly a box-to-box midfielder. Now, we'll definitely keep Fred at the football club. You know, Fred has really, really made an impact this season. Fred really impressed me in the 3-1 win against Everton. I like the way he dictated the play, kept the ball well, showed some good attacking intent. And he's getting better and better and better. You know, he wasn't good against Arsenal the other week because he was dispossessed far too many times, wasn't he? We got Fred in a deal worth £52 million from Shakhtar Donetsk, you know, a few years ago, and Fred has got a contract with the football club until 2023. I think we'll keep McTominay at Manchester United, despite the fact that I've got element of concerns about him. He's had some good games this season, but I think he's totally comparison to Fred. You know, McTominay's played a lot alongside Fred this season. You know, McTominay has been part of the club, though, for several years. And was it just after the first lockdown, McTominay signed a 5-year contract with Manchester United? Now, we'll keep Luke Shaw. I've been very, very impressed with Luke Shaw, by the way, recently. He's got 2 assists in his last 2 games. Now, the negativity regarding Luke Shaw, he's out with a hamstring injury. And he's going to be out for up to a month. That's my only element of concern about Luke Shaw. He's far too injury prone. You know, he had an ankle injury towards the end of last season, and he had an injury at the first part of last season as well. Luke Shaw's enjoyed a good 6 years or so at the football club. You know, we paid £30 million in from Southampton back in 2014. Now, Harry Maguire will keep him, obviously, at the club. I've been very, very impressed with Harry Maguire recently. He's rejuvenated himself. Because don't forget, Harry Maguire did have early season troubles. He had a few knocks. He also had that incident in Greece the other month. But it hasn't let it affect him. You know, he's just basically focusing on his football. Harry Maguire's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment because we got him for £80 million. And he's the second most expensive signing at the club. And he is our current captain. I think we'll also keep Victor Lindelof, despite the fact I've got strong reservations about Lindelof. Lindelof's had some good games this season, but he's nowhere near on the same level as Harry Maguire, is he? You know, Victor Lindelof's enjoyed a good 3 years or so at the football club. You know, we paid around £31 million in from Benfica back in 2017. I think we'll also keep Eric Bailly at the club. The element of concern about Eric Bailly is too injury prone. You know, Eric Bailly is now out with a muscle injury and he's going to be out for a few weeks, Eric Bailly. But he's a good centre-half. You know, Bailly's enjoyed a good 4 years or so now at Man United. Paid £30 million in from Villarreal back in 2016. Axel Tuanzebe, now we'll also keep him at the club. Now, I can't give you much of a perception on him at the moment. I can give you a bit of a perception on him that, you know, he did very, very well in the game against PSG. That game against PSG was his first start for Manchester United in 10 months. But he was very, very poor in the game against Istanbul Başakşehir. Ollie was talking about Tuanzebe prior to the Chelsea game, saying that, you know, he needs to... He's challenged him to add consistency to ensure that he has a long career at Manchester United. And Ollie's hopeful that he remains injury-free because, you know, he's sustained quite a few injuries, hasn't he? And Wan-Bissaka, will definitely keep him at the football club. I've been very, very impressed with Wan-Bissaka recently. I like the way... In some of the games he's played well in, he showed some good attacking intent. Defensively, he's been very, very good. But he's always defensively been very, very good anyway in the vast majority of his games. Don't forget, Wan-Bissaka scored his first goal for the club in the 4-1 win against Newcastle. This season's Wan-Bissaka's second season at Man United. We got him in a deal worth £50 million from Crystal Palace in the summer of 2019. I think David De Gea will keep him for at least this season. There was rumours before of him possibly leaving next summer, David De Gea, but David De Gea has really, really rejuvenated himself, hasn't he? He's made some very, very good saves in quite a few games this season, but there's been a couple of games where he hasn't really had much to do. But I said, you know, David De Gea will remain our number one this season. You know. So yeah, there's a lot of players, you know, we will keep at the football club. But yeah, in regards to Ole Solskjaer, you know, he's been Manchester United manager now for almost 2 years. He has got a contract with the football club until 2022. Now, we appointed him in December 2018, and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. Now, obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's been under a lot of pressure at the football club, because obviously we've enjoyed a pretty poor start to the season. We are sitting 14th in the Premier League, and we have registered just 10 points from our opening 7 games in the league. It's been ups and downs this season, hasn't it, for Manchester United, because we've had some good results. You know, we're beating the likes of PSG 2-1 and RB Leipzig 5-0 in the Champions League group stage, and we had a good result against Everton recently, but, you know, we've had bad results, obviously, against Palace, lost to them 3-1 on the opening day. We had a very, very bad result against Tottenham, got battered by them 6-1. We had a bad result against Arsenal the other week. That was Arsenal's first win at Old Trafford in the Premier League since 2006. And we had a bad result against Istanbul Başakşehir because they're beating us by 2-1. You know, we have not yet won at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season, so it has been our worst start at Old Trafford for around 50 years. But despite how poor Manchester United have been, Solskjaer thinks going to stay at the club because Ed Woodward insists that Manchester United remain absolutely committed to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This is what it had said. And I don't think Solskjaer's been backed enough as Manchester United manager. You know, he wasn't backed enough during the summer transfer window because we missed out on all of his priority targets. But none of our managers have been backed enough since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. So Moyes wasn't backed enough, Van Gaal wasn't backed enough, Mourinho wasn't backed enough, and Ole hasn't been backed enough. But we've been critical of the board for several years, reflecting how poor our recruitment policy's been, and we've also overpaid for players. You know, this is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's second full season as Manchester United manager. And I said, didn't I, if Manchester United could finish in the top 4 this season and we could win a trophy, then that would represent a good season for Man United. We've not yet won a trophy under Ole, and we haven't won a trophy for over 3 years. But if he could exceed his expectations this season, then that would give Manchester United something to build on, wouldn't it? Some of Ole's team selections are definitely questionable. I have obviously taken positives from his tenure as well. Like I said, he's showed a lot of tactical flexibility in a lot of the big games. He's made some good signings since he got appointed in as Man United manager. You know, he's spent over, £200 million since he became Manchester United manager. And he's enjoyed, 4 transfer windows at the football club. We've also seen a lot of players depart the club since he got recommended in. I also like the way he has promoted the youth. Last season was his first full season at the club, Ole, and he did very, very well, because he got us qualification for the Champions League. He also got us third, and he guided us to 3 semi-finals. And don't forget, the first part of last season, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. And we've had some good periods under him. You know, went on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions last season. We was 14 unbeaten in the Premier League at one point, and did well in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. I do believe that Ole is in a position he shouldn't be in, because I think the club made a mistake by giving him the job permanently, but the main explanation we give him the job permanently was reflect on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager, you know? You know what I mean? You know, obviously there has been a lot of talks of Mauricio Pochettino coming in to replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the football club. Did recently say that Mauricio Pochettino was watching Man United and Chelsea and all of that, and Manchester City. But he has been the favourite to replace him and all of that. And Pochettino has been managerless now for like a year. I don't see us getting Pochettino now, to be honest with you. Pochettino made it clear on Monday Night Football the other week that he's missing football and he's ready for a return to management. We've obviously been looking at Massimiliano Allegri as well. He's one of the alternatives. It says we've been looking at Julian Nagelsmann. He's one of the alternatives to Pochettino. But to be honest with you, wouldn't really solve a lot sacking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, would it? But I think Man United are at least a few years off from winning the title. You know, we haven't won the Premier League for 8 years now. The last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season. But nothing's really changed in the last 7 years or so. It's just been the same sort of thing with Manchester United, hasn't it? You know, we've obviously sacked 3 managers since Ferguson left, and that was David Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. You know, obviously, we've recruited over 30-odd players in since Ferguson left and spent close to the £1 billion range on them. That includes, obviously, who we've brought in under Ole. You know, we've also got players on big contracts at the football club. You know, we've only won 4 trophies since Ferguson left, and that was the FA Cup under Van Gaal and the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield under Jose Mourinho. So it just indicates how inconsistent we have been. But it doesn't matter who our manager is at Man United, whether it be Solskjaer, Pochettino or whoever, they won't replicate Ferguson's legacy and they won't last as long as Alex Ferguson did. Ferguson endured 27 years at the club and he won a total of 38 major honours, including 13 Premier League titles. But he didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club, did he, Alex Ferguson? But the success came under him because since then being inconsistent, and before Ferguson came into the equation, we was inconsistent as well. Now, we've got West Brom after the international break. That should be a game Manchester United should be winning. I presume we'll be making changes from the 3-1 win against Everton. Tellez against West Brom should be making his Premier League debut. Not so long ago, Alex Tellez did have COVID-19. I think Edison Cavani should be making his Premier League debut, full Premier League debut as well against West Brom, I'm hoping. I think Rashford should be available in that. I want Donny van de Beek to make his full Premier League debut. Whether he does or not, I do not know. We'll probably end up starting Bruno Fernandes ahead of him. Paul Pogba, I think he could be dropped again because he's been very, very inconsistent for Manchester United. So we will have to see. So anyway guys, that's everything to update with today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.